So let's start modeling our thorax. To do this, I will start with the mannequin, as we did with the head, but at this time I utilized a part of the arm and a part of the leg, as you can see in the image. I will just do some adjustments to have a better base mesh. Let's leave the leg part wider and the arm part wider as well. I'm removing a part of the arm and leg. Now let's create a better shape for our base mesh. What I will try to do is a S in the body, start on the head, and the first curve on the neck, flowing to the bottom of the body. Now let's apply the Dynamesh to create a base mesh in a unique part. After creating our Dynamesh, let's create a unique polygroup and start smoothing our base mesh to remove the imperfection of the Dynamesh. Let's start by the head. In this video, we are not modeling the head, but we need to block the head format to use it as reference for the thorax modeling. As you see in the previous videos, we use the head as reference to find some landmarks on your body. Now I am shaping better my body, trying to find a good silhouette. Let's move our head to the better position and start to find the skull format of our head to help us find the landmarks on the body. After shaping my head, I started to try to find the silhouette of my body. I created the neck volume. Now I am working on the arms and chest, trying to find the rib box, bringing the shoulder to a higher position, and let's start with our first landmark, the base of the rib cage. Now I am creating the arts of the iliac crest and the rib bone from tip. Now I'm trying to find the chest format. First I'm creating the landmarks, and after I created the landmarks I will try to check the proportions using the rules. But before that, we need to create this landmark to use to check the proportions. Let's add more definition to the clavicle. And now let's start draw the shoulder blades. For this I am using the pinch because we have a too much low geometry. So pinch is perfect for creating these marks on the mesh when you have a low resolution. I'm trying to find the S format of the body. Start on the neck and flowing to the bottom of the body. Now I'm doing the mandible landmark to be more visible and help us in the future to check the proportions. Now I'm creating with the 10 standard the M format of the back and the shoulder blade region. Now I'm creating this line from the shoulder blade to the C7. Let's create now the trapezial volume using the pinch. And now using move, let's add a more volume to this trapezium. I create some masks to help me. Just add volume to the trapezium, but not move the other part that I don't want to move. Now I'm creating the mark of the latissimus dorsi. let's create a mask and starting to add volume to this muscle. Adjusting the chest volume. Now I'm creating the flattened shape in the rib cage to give to the chest a better format. With pinch, marking the muscles of the neck. Notice that I'm trying to get almost the volumes in the very low resolution, because that will help us to get now all the volume, and it's better to do this in a very low resolution, because with a high resolution sometimes you can create some mistakes and starting fight against the resolution and creating some imperfections. So always you are blocking something, try to block with a low resolution the main volumes before increase your mesh resolution. I created the hip bone front tip, and now I'm increasing the mark of the iliac crest. Now this is the sacrum mark. Just add more volume to the iliac crest, and let's increase the resolution of our mesh. Just using a little bit of smooth to remove these small squares on the surface created by the data mesh. Let's continue blocking our volumes. Now adding more definition for each of the volumes that we created before the data mesh. Let's add more definition to the hip bone front tip. Let's add more definition to the sacrum. And now we can adjust the format of our iliac crest. Let's move to a higher position the sacrum, now let's add more definition to the clavicle and starting creating the volume of the sternocleidomastoid. Notice that my head is with a bad format, so now let's try to find a good format for our head. Let's adjust the chin and the mandible bone of the head. Now adding more definition to the sternocleidomastoid. Adjusting the clavicle, adding more volume to the clavicle, and now adding more volume to the trapezial muscle. Let's create the volume of the tendon of the trapezium. It's kind of a negative volume where you have the tendon of the trapezium. And now let's adjust the trapezial format. Let's adjust the shape of the clavicle, trying to create the S form of the clavicle in the front view and in the top view. Now with the transpose tool, let's check if our neck have the right length. Let's find the position of the nose. The distance of the clavicle from the base of the nose is the same of the chin to the root of the hair. So let's use the transpose tool to find the position of the nose and the position of the root of the hair. And with the transpose tool, measure the distance from the chin to the root of the hair and use this distance to measure the distance from the base of the nose to the clavicle. So with this we can check the length of our neck. As you can see, my clavicle was too low, so I needed to move higher after I did this check with the transpose tool. Now let's add some volume to the muscle of the shoulder. Let's add more volume to the chest. Now I am adjusting the sternocleidomastoid muscle with the position of the clavicle. Again, with the transpose tool, let's check if your thorax have the 3 heads of length from the neck to the base of the thorax. I needed to move higher my pelvis to fit with the right proportion. Now let's create this mark on the leg. Going to the back of the body and creating the mark of the butt. Now let's create the position of our chest muscle. I find my nipple position, so the chest muscle needs to be a little bit lower than the position of the nipple. Now with K-tubs, adding volume to the muscle of the chest. With pins, adding more definition to the base of the muscle. Notice the pentagon format of the muscle. Using the standard to add more definition at the base of the chest muscle. Let's lower the position of the chest muscle to fit with the proportion. Now let's bring the clavicle a little bit forward, because the S format of the clavicle needs to be subtle. Now add more volume to the muscle of the chest. Now I'm trying to adjust the rib cage to the right format. And remember, the wider part of the thorax in the chest area, it's not from the rib cage, but it's from the latissimus dorsi. Let's bring the head to front to create the ass and the body. I needed to change this ass because right now it's not okay, but I will do that in the next steps. Now I'm doing a general checking of the shapes of my blocked part. Let's check the position of the shoulder blade, and I check it and it's too lower, so I need to move it higher to fit with the second head position. Now I'm creating a better format for the shoulder blade. Notice that I am creating the shoulder blade and the position of the clavicle is inner in comparison of the shoulder blade. The shoulder blade fit with the clavicle and the outer part of the body, and I created as well the shoulder blade spine, as you can notice. Now let's add some volumes to the muscles of the shoulder, trying to find the silhouette, and let's try to find the silhouette of the arm. Remember, the bigger volume of the triceps is near of the shoulder muscle, but the biceps bigger volume is far from the shoulder muscle. Now I'm drawing the shoulder muscle format using the standard to mark this position. Notice the shoulder muscle where I start with a straight line, and just after this little straight line I start the volume of the shoulder muscle. Now just doing some adjustments in the muscles of the neck. Well, that's all for now. Our first block of the body. Let's take a break and see you in the next video.
学习过程中还有疑问，可以立即加入正版